3 months ago, a woman named Hillary Clinton ran for president. She received 2.5 million more votes than her opponent, Donald Trump. But yet, this Donald Trump is standing in the White House this very second. Why is this? It's because of the Electoral College. The Electoral College has been plaguing this nation since the beginning of America. People spend their time researching and voting for these political candidates, only to discover that all their efforts have been wasted away. Citizens of America, I'm here today to give you 3 good reasons why the Electoral College should be abolished from this nation forever. The Electoral College is a process where 538 electors vote for the presidential candidate. The Founding Fathers established it into the Constitution because they believed that we weren't intelligent enough to choose the right presidential candidate, which leads me to the first reason why the Electoral College should be abolished. The first reason why the Electoral College should be abolished is because not every person gets a voice in the election. Candidates and politicians say every vote counts, but this is far from the truth. The Electoral College gives more power to 538 electors than to 318.9 million people. The Electoral College is supposed to represent what the people want, but who represented the 2.5 million more votes that Hillary Clinton received? Something is definitely wrong here. Because of the Electoral College, candidates only need to get a 12-state victory to win the election. Our impact on the election should not be defined by our zip code. The second reason why the Electoral College should be abolished is because it ignores the will of the people. How would you feel if you were ignored? I would feel angry. I would expect change. Many Americans all over the country express their anger, just like how I'm doing today. An estimated 2 million people showed up for the anti-Trump marches the Saturday after the inauguration. The Electoral College has been causing protests all across the country. The popular vote would not cause these issues because the popular vote reflects the will of the people. The third reason why the Electoral College should be abolished is because it's not advanced enough for our standards today. So at this point in my speech, some of you might be thinking, we can't get rid of the Electoral College because it's in the Constitution. It's what the Founding Fathers believed in. The Electoral College may be in the Constitution, but what the Founding Fathers believed in is no longer true. You see, when the Founding Fathers established the Electoral College, they believed that we weren't intelligent enough to choose the right presidential candidate. But times have changed. We've become more intelligent. We have built nuclear weapons. We have fought and won 2 world wars. We have even sent a man to the moon. Does the government still think that we are not intelligent enough to choose the right presidential candidate? Times have changed, and as times are changing, we should get more advanced in our political standards. In conclusion, the Electoral College is unfair to voters, is ignoring the will of the people, and is not advanced enough for our standards today. Because of the Electoral College, 2.5 million people are unable to say, I support my president. Those people feel as if they didn't have any say in the election at all. In the future, I want to be proud of my president. But until that day, I can only hope that someone will abolish the Electoral College, that someone will indeed make America great again. Thank you.
I'm about to tell you a story they wouldn't normally tell you in middle school. Ortala Mosley, 15 years old, stabbed to death by abusive ex-boyfriend Marcus McTeer, who was known for being in abusive relationships since as early as the 8th grade. He even went as far as to pushing his middle school girlfriend down the stairs. Later in high school, he began dating Ortala, and after 6 months, she broke up with him. The very next day, he stabbed her 6 times in her school hallway. Abusive relationships are a serious and deadly problem, and educational systems have failed to teach us the warning signs of dating violence. These relationships are all about one person wanting more power over the other. They know how to make you feel vulnerable and as though you are responsible for their violent actions. Abusers are cunning, manipulative, and deliberate. Their actions are driven by the need for them to feel power. At the time a victim attempts to escape an abusive relationship, the likelihood of an abuser attempting to severely harm or even kill goes up 75%. This is separation violence. Ortala Mosley did not have to die. There were so many moments where prevention could have occurred. If everyone knew about Marcus's first abusive relationship, why didn't anybody say anything? Why wasn't anything done? Was Ortala or any of her friends ever offered any prevention education? Did the school even recognize that this was dating violence? Was the faculty and staff even trained to understand abusive relationships and how to properly intervene in a situation like this? Why do schools value and emphasize physical safety, but do not teach us how to be physically safe by avoiding the signs of dating violence? Knowing that teenagers will date and be intimate, why aren't we taught what a healthy relationship looks like? Why aren't we taught what it means to be treated with love and respect? Those who oppose a dating violence curricula believe that we are too young to understand this content. Yet a national study of kids ages 11 to 14 show that 1 in 5 reported that their very own friends are in abusive relationships. A study led by DoSomething.org reported that 1 in 3 adolescents will experience an abusive relationship in the entirety of their lives. If these are the odds, why are we not being prepared for this? If these are the odds, why are schools not taking responsibility for prevention and education? If these are the odds, why is the faculty and staff not trained on how to prevent a situation like this from happening in the first place? A small group of Hawaii's private schools, including Punahou, are taking small steps towards giving the students the proper education they deserve on this topic. But there is still no mandatory curricula in the state of Hawaii regarding this topic. So I ask you this: what about the public school students who will never even hear that 1 in 3 of them will be in an abusive relationship? What if 1 8th or 9th grade course is not enough? What about the kids who receive this talk when it is already too late? Looking at these statistics, it is clear to me that what we are doing is simply not enough. A study by YouGov shows that only 13% of girls claim to receive education on this topic. This is unacceptable. This is why young women in America are more than 3 times likely to experience an abusive relationship compared to anyone else in the country. I refuse to accept these odds. To know that this is the truth is to know that we are failing ourselves. It is to know that we are failing those who come after us. Ortala Mosley was just 1 year older than me when her life was taken. She was an incredible student. She was the dance captain. She was described as an absolute shining star. I tell you her story so that it will stay with you. I tell you her story so that when we are shaping a world free of dating violence, we will understand who it is for. It is for the boys and girls just like us. It is for the students who never got to graduate. It is for the victims who carry their survival stories with them every day of their lives. It is for the girls like Ortala Mosley.